Imagine an aircraft that can just vanish from radar. Pole turns so tight it feels like, I don't know, 1,500 pounds pressing down on you. And then land on a moving postage stamp out in the ocean. Precision like that. Today, yeah, we're diving deep into the F-35C Lightning II. It's this marvel of engineering that's really, truly changing the skies. Welcome back to another deep dive. So glad you could join us. We've got a fascinating stack of sources to get through today, all about one of the, well, most advanced military jets out there, the U.S. Navy's F-35C Lightning II. You sent us articles, video breakdowns, some really great insights. And our mission, like always, is to pull out the key stuff for you. Cut through the noise, and get to what makes this jet just so extraordinary. But hey, before we jump in, a massive thank you. Seriously, thanks for being part of this community. If you're enjoying these deep dives, maybe take a second now. Like, share, drop a comment, tell us what you think, and definitely subscribe. It really, really helps us keep bringing these explorations to you, helps other folks find us too.
It really is a complex machine. But what's truly fascinating, I think, is how the design, the capabilities, they're redefining what's possible, not just in air combat, but specifically for naval operations. That's key. So yeah, we'll look at the tech, the amazing maneuvers it pulls off, and it's a very unique role in the Navy today.
Okay, let's start unpacking. Our sources, they call this thing the world's most advanced fighter.
Yeah.
And get this, the first and only long-range stealth strike fighter designed and built explicitly for Navy carrier operations.
Ah.
So stealth to the sea, what does that actually mean? How's that a game changer?
Right, that's a great question. Why is stealth to the sea so important? It comes down to its very low observable performance, VLO they call it. And it's not just like one magic coating, it's the whole configuration. Embedded sensors carrying fuel and weapons inside, those aligned edges you see, really advanced manufacturing, all of it works together to shrink its radar signature down to almost nothing. So operationally, pilots can slip right through contested airspace undetected. This boosts lethality, obviously, but also survivability big time. They get to decide when and where the fight happens.
Okay, so it's about hiding, but not just hiding, right? The sources really hype up its sensor suite. What's revolutionary there?
Oh, absolutely. It's way more than just stealth. It supposedly has the most advanced and comprehensive sensor suite of any fighter jet in history.
Yeah.
Big claim, I know. But you're looking at tech like ASIL radar active electronically scanned arrays. Then there's the DAS, the distributed aperture system, EOT's electro-optical targeting system, and the helmet. The helmet-mounted display system is incredible. These systems don't just work alone. They fuse everything together. Radar, infrared, electronic intel, all into one picture for the pilot. It gives them what they call unprecedented situational awareness. Basically, they can see everything, everywhere, all at once.
Like having eyes in the back of your head and all around it, too.
Wow.
But also called the force multiplier. How does one plane multiply the force of a whole operation?
Yeah, connecting it to the bigger picture, it acts like a flying command center almost, an ISR asset that's intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and a battle manager. Because it sees so much, it shares that critical info in real time with everyone networked, ground troops, ships, other planes. So imagine coordinating everything perfectly. It ensures everyone's on the same page, makes operations much safer, much more effective. Plus, it can carry nearly 20,000 pounds of fuel internally, gives it a range over 1,200 nautical miles. That's serious range and mission persistence. It can stay in the fight longer without needing a fuel top-up.
Let's talk about the physical stuff, the raw power, the design. What makes the C variant unique, especially for carrier life?
Well, it's built tough for the carrier environment. It has the largest wingspan and most robust landing gear of all the F-35 types. That's essential. You need that strength for those catapult launches and arrested landings. Those landings are violent. And here's a neat thing. The wingtips actually fold up, saves precious space on a crowded flight deck. And even with that beefier build, it's still supersonic. Hits Mach 1.6, about 1,200 miles per hour. Even carrying weapons internally, which is key. No drag from external stuff helps it fly faster and stay stealthy.
And the weapons load. I heard it's flexible. Stealth or firepower.
Exactly. Flexibility is designed in. It can carry over 5,000 pounds of weapons inside, keeping that clean, stealthy profile. But if you need sheer firepower for a different mission, load it up externally too. Then you're talking over 18,000 pounds total. So commanders can really tailor it. Deep strike stealth mission, or close air support with lots of bombs. It can do both.
Okay, the specs are impressive. But seeing it fly, that's something else. Our sources describe airshow demos, pilots like Major Clark, Andy Dojo Olson. What kind of maneuvers are we talking about, showcasing that agility?
Yeah, the demos are designed to show off just how nimble it is, despite its size. Major Clark does this tactical pitch, starts around 300 mile per hour, hits max afterburner, rolls into a really sharp 45-degree turn, then repositions the nose super fast, even at slow speeds and high angles of attack, and then just climbs straight up vertically. Shows off the raw power. It's about changing direction and speed on a dime.
And the G-forces. I read something about the minimum radius turn. That sounds intense.
Oh, it gets really interesting there. That minimum radius turn, the tightest turn possible. The pilot gets slammed into the seat with 7.5 Gs, 7.5 times the force of gravity. I mean, think about that. For a pilot weighing, say, 200 pounds, that's like having almost 1,500 pounds pressing down on them. It allows for incredibly tight turns, pointing the nose where you need it fast. Huge edge in a dogfight.
Whoa. Okay. And Dojo Olson's demo mentioned a high alpha half Cuban and a pedal turn. What do those actually look like?
Right, the high alpha half Cuban, it's sort of like a half figure eight, but the nose is pointing way up. The jet might be moving one way, but the nose is pointed somewhere else entirely. It slows right down to the top, maybe 50 knots, very controlled. The pedal turn from the cockpit, it looks like you climb, then suddenly you're diving, but the jet is kind of flat spinning, rotating around its center.
But here's the fascinating part, the real engineering feat. The F-35 does these really tough, high angle of attack moves without thrust vectoring.
Unlike the Raptor or the Flanker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those jets use nozzles that swivel to redirect thrust. The F-35 relies purely on its aerodynamics and flight controls. That's seriously impressive design.
They also mention a high-speed pass, getting close to Mach 1, and those carry landings again. Yeah, the high-speed pass. They can come screaming in, maybe just 16 feet off the deck, doing 875 mile per hour. Sometimes you'll see that white vapor cloud forming around it that's a condensation shock wave. Means it's right on the edge of breaking the sound barrier. Pilots have to be careful near land, though. Don't want to cause a sonic boom. But that ability, low and fast, that's key for sneaking in. And the carrier landings. Like we said, they're not gentle, no smooth flare like on a runway. It's a controlled descent, aiming for those arresting wires on a moving target. Precision is everything. That's why you need the stronger gear, the highly skilled pilots like Major Clark with over 100 traps, as they call them. You'll even hear them call the ball on approach. Means they've got the optical landing system in sight, and they're locked in. It's pure skill.
So, pulling back to the big picture, what does this all mean for naval aviation? The U.S. Navy is the biggest customer, right? 273 jets planned.
That's right. NASA Lemoore is the main hub. But it's definitely a global story, too. This isn't just a U.S. program. There are over 1,900 suppliers involved across nearly all U.S. states and more than 10 other countries. So you have this growing group of nations flying the F-35 that builds interoperability, allies working together seamlessly, which is huge for global security. By 2030, projections show over 550 F-35s just in Europe.
Wow.
And over 300 in the Indo-Pacific by 2025. It's creating this massive networked defense capability.
And it's not standing still. It's constantly being upgraded.
Absolutely. Got to stay ahead. They talk about Block 4 upgrades. That means things like carrying more missiles internally, plus more advanced electronic warfare stuff, jamming enemy systems, things like that. And there's Tech Refresh 3 or TR3. That's a big hardware and software upgrade. New core processor, better cockpit displays. Basically making the jet smarter and faster, ready for future threats. Constant modernization is the name of the game.
And it connects to history, too, right? The Navy Legacy Flight Program, flying with old warbirds.
Yeah, that's a really cool program. You see the F-35C flying formation with like an F-4U Corsair from World War II or Korea.
It must be amazing to see.
It really is. It's a visual reminder of the lineage, honoring the pilots who came before, while showcasing the absolute peak of today's tech, history and future, side by side.
Okay, so with all this capability, all this advanced tech, why isn't it flown by the Blue Angels? You'd think it would be the perfect showpiece. Our sources actually had an answer for this.
Yeah, it's a logical question, but it comes down to practicality versus the jet's main role. The Blue Angels lead pilot, Commander Adam Bryan, basically said using the F-35C for demos would not be very practical. They're sticking with the Super Hornets until at least 2040.
So it's not that it can't do the maneuvers.
Not necessarily. It's more about the operational demands. The Blues have this insane schedule, 300 days on the road, 65 shows, constant high-tempo flying and training. The F-35C, with its complexity, its stealth coatings, its maintenance needs, it's just not built for that kind of relentless airshow circuit. Its prime directive is combat effectiveness, network integration, not show aerobatics, different tools for different jobs, essentially.
Makes sense. So from stealth and sensors that see everything to mind-bending agility and being this global force multiplier,
Yeah.
the F-35C Lightning II really is something else. It's designed from the ground up to give pilots and the Navy this unmatched edge in really complex situations. Power, precision, intelligence all rolled into one.
Absolutely. What's fascinating, I think, is how it's not just a small step up. It feels like a genuine leap forward for naval aviation. It's setting a whole new benchmark for what a carrier fighter can do in today's world, and it really highlights that constant need to evolve to stay dominant.
So as we wrap this up, here's something to chew on. We live in this super connected, really complex world, right? How is integrating tech like the F-35Cs going to keep reshaping how we even think about defense, about global security in the next few decades? What new challenges, maybe new opportunities pop up when you have this level of technology out there, not just for the military, but for all of us? Food for thought. We really hope you got some good insights from today's deep dive. Please remember to like, share, leave us a comment with your take on the F-35C. We'd love hearing from you. And yeah, subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until then, keep digging for knowledge and stay well informed.